The biggest medical mistake we ever made wasn't before modern medicine. It was after. Because thousands of years ago, ancient Egyptians were preventing disease in ways humanity later abandoned. No microscopes, no germ theory, no hospitals. And yet, they outperformed entire civilizations that came after them. That should bother you, because it means progress didn't just move forward, it forgot. To understand why, you have to erase the picture you've been taught about ancient medicine, because it wasn't primitive, it was preventative. And the first lie that blocks people from seeing this is the belief that ancient societies were filthy. They weren't. Ancient Egypt was obsessively clean, not for beauty, not for comfort, for survival. In a climate that breeds parasites, bacteria, and skin infections, dirt was deadly. So they bathed constantly, not once a day, multiple times. Priests shaved their entire bodies, washed repeatedly, used oils that protected the skin barrier and slowed microbial growth. They didn't know what bacteria were, they just noticed something simple. Sickness followed dirt. That insight alone put them centuries ahead. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Thousands of years later, in Europe, bathing was discouraged. Water was believed to open pores to disease. Result: plagues, skin infections, mass death. The Egyptians had already solved this problem. And hygiene didn't stop at skin. It went straight into the mouth. Their toothpaste was brutal. Crushed eggshells, ash, salt, mint. It destroyed plaque. Yes, it damaged enamel, but here was their calculation. Plaque causes decay. Decay causes infection. Infection kills. Comfort was irrelevant. Survival wasn't.
Dental disease was less common in early Egypt than in many later societies because oral health wasn't cosmetic, it was preventative medicine. And this is where most people get it wrong. They assume ancient medicine was magic and superstition. It wasn't. They wrote everything down. The Ebers Papyrus lists over 700 treatments, symptoms, diagnoses, recipes, not prayers alone, not spells, pattern recognition, observation over centuries. This is exactly how modern medicine began, just without microscopes. They weren't anti-science, they were pre-science. And one of their most trusted treatments is still used in hospitals today: honey. They packed wounds with it, not symbolically, not spiritually, because wounds treated with honey got infected less and healed faster. We now know why. Low moisture, high acidity, natural hydrogen peroxide. Modern hospitals use medical-grade honey for burns and ulcers. The Egyptians didn't know the chemistry, they knew the result. But then they went further, and this is where people get uncomfortable. They applied moldy bread to wounds. Sounds insane until you realize mold produces antibiotic compounds. Penicillin comes from mold. Ancient Egyptians noticed something terrifyingly simple. Some infected wounds healed better when certain molds were present. They didn't isolate molecules, they isolated outcomes. And here's the timeline no one likes to talk about. Egyptians used mold therapeutically. Antibiotics were discovered in 1928. Millions died in between. Progress isn't linear. Sometimes it forgets what works. At this point, it's tempting to say they were just lucky. Clean water, natural remedies, trial and error. That explanation is comforting and wrong, because their real advantage wasn't any single treatment. It was philosophy. Ancient Egyptian medicine wasn't built around cures. It was built around control, especially control of digestion. They believed disease started in the gut. Blocked digestion meant systemic illness. So they used castor oil and herbal laxatives intentionally, not randomly, not excessively. Regulation. Modern medicine now links gut health to immunity, inflammation, even mental health. The Egyptians didn't run blood tests, they watched patterns. And digestion wasn't the only system they controlled. They also regulated reproduction. Honey, herbs, even crocodile dung. It sounds ridiculous until you understand pH. Some mixtures altered vaginal acidity, reducing sperm viability. Crude? Yes. Useless? No. And here's what matters most. This knowledge was written, shared, accepted. Women had documented reproductive agency long before most civilizations allowed it. But physical health was only half their system. The other half was invisible. Illness was imbalance, so treatment included rest, music, environment, spiritual grounding. Not because they were naive, but because stress worsens disease. Modern medicine calls this psychosomatic interaction. The Egyptians called it alignment. Even their clothing reflected this thinking. Linen, breathable, quick drying, insect-resistant, less moisture, fewer parasites, lower infection risk. They weren't dressing for fashion, they were dressing for climate biology. When you put all of this together, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Ancient Egypt wasn't advanced because of miracle substances. They were advanced because they reduced risk every day. Clean constantly, protect wounds immediately, control digestion, manage stress, document outcomes. They didn't chase cures, they prevented collapse. Modern medicine is incredible at emergencies, but ancient Egypt mastered daily health. And here's the uncomfortable question this leaves behind. How many modern health problems exist not because we lack technology, but because we abandoned habits that already worked? Health isn't built in hospitals, it's built in routines. And history doesn't move forward in a straight line. Sometimes it circles back, quietly asking whether we were ever as advanced as we thought we were.